Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com and welcome to the next lesson in your Zapier Mastery course. So in this lesson, we are going to have a look at how paths work. So if you remember in the previous lesson, we created a Zap for capturing data from the payment gateway and writing that data in a Google Sheet. So whenever a new sale of my 100-day blogging course happens, I get a new row on this sheet with the payment ID, and we made sure that the data passes only if the status is credit, which means that we have added a filter. But what if you want two different filters? For example, I want a filter if there is a status of credit, but I want another filter for status has failed, and I cannot do it in this Zap because there is only one catch hook, and this catch hook we have put it inside InstaMojo. So that is where paths come in, and to explain how paths work, I am going to go ahead and delete these two zaps which we have created just to show you how paths work. And what we are basically going to do is that we are going to create a decision tree where if the condition is A, it goes to a different path, and if the condition is B, it goes to a different path. And in our case, the condition is that if it is going to be a credit transaction, then write the data in this particular sheet, and if it is going to be a failed transaction, then write the data in a different sheet. So let's say I go ahead and create a copy of this particular sheet, and I would say 100 DBC failed transactions. So whenever a transaction gets failed, InstaMojo is going to come back with the status called failed, and I want that to be written here. So I will go ahead and delete this row, and I will go ahead and delete this row as well, and I will delete the previously made zaps here so that we can rebuild this zap. So now what I will say is that credit and failed. So I'm going to capture both the data but on different sheets. So if someone has done a credit transaction, then I'm going to tag them as 100 DBC and trigger the active campaign automation that I showed you earlier. And if someone is going to have a failed transaction, then I'm going to send out an SMS, and I'm also going to send out an email to remind them to make the payment. So let me show you how it is done. So I will click on add step here. So here we have to select path, and basically there will be two different conditions. One is the A path and one is the B path. So let's say A path is for the successful transactions. So this is path, or I would just go ahead and say success, or I'll just say successful transaction. So it is usually a good habit to have good naming convention so that in the future you clearly know what it is. So here I would say status contains credit. So whenever there is a transaction with the status credit, then I'm going to continue on this path. And based on the test data, it says that this would continue. So I would go ahead and add the data to active campaign, create an update contact, save and continue. Select my active campaign account, and here I will select the list. I will just add it as 100 DBC, which is the list of all my customers. I will add the email ID here, the first name, and I can also transfer the phone number to my active campaign account just because I have it. So tax is very important. So here you can see that for the 100-day blogging course delivery, I have triggered an automation. So I've created an automation which gets triggered based on the application of the tag 100 DBC. So here it is very important that I add the tag 100 DBC here, and then I would go ahead and add the amount as well in the revenue. So basically we are recreating this step, and I would click on send text to active campaign, and now it asks me to set up the next path. So there is one more step that I need to add in the path A, which is a multi-step zap. And here I'm going to go ahead and write it on Google Sheets as well, because the data from Google Sheet is going to be helpful for sending out SMS and managing affiliates as well, which we will be looking at in the future videos. So let me go ahead and select on Google Sheets. So I will create spreadsheet row, and select my Gmail account. So basically I have to go through all the steps that I did before, which was to add the row in 100 DBC 2019 sales. Click on worksheet. So discount amount off, and click on continue. So basically what has happened here is that we have created a path, and then we have created a multi-step zap within the path. So now the path A is the successful transaction that is over, and we need to configure the path B. So path B would be the failed transactions. So I would just call it failed transactions and click on next. So here basically I'm going to set up a filter rule, but this filter rule is specific for path B, and that is why it is called paths. So paths are very similar to filters, except that you can have multiple filters leading to multiple different decisions. So here the status does not contain credit, or I can say it contains failed, but anything apart from credit is obviously failed. So I will click on test and continue, and based on the sample data that we have pulled before, it says that this path would not run, but it's okay. You can go ahead and click on continue. And right now I will not set up active campaign, because I need to go ahead and set up a separate sequence for failed transactions which is yet to be done. So I would just go ahead and write it on Google Sheets directly. So I will create a new spreadsheet row, and here I have to select the different sheet which is 100 DBC failed transactions. So I would select spreadsheet as 100 DBC failed transactions, and select the worksheet, and basically do the same entry again. So let me go ahead and do it. So what I have done here is that I have just entered the email ID, name and phone number, and I have just written the status as failed myself, because InstaMojo is going to post a status called failed, but we have only two options here. One is success and one is failed. So if it is not going to be a successful transaction, it's going to be a failed transaction. And by default, since it is a failed transaction, we are not going to have amount, fees and payment ID. So I will just leave all these blank, and I am not sure whether they really have a payment ID for failed transaction, but even then we might not need it, because we are just going to use these details to go ahead and follow up with the person to make them pay again, or at least have the visibility on Google Sheets whether the payment has been made. So now I would go ahead and click on continue, and let's say send test to Google Sheets. So here you can see right now it has just written a sample data, and it has put the status as failed, but this is just a sample data. This is not a real failed transaction. So here I would go back and click on finish, and let's see. So this data has been from path A, and the other data is from path B. So now we have two paths. So path A is going to send data to active campaign and also write it to Google Sheets, which is this Google Sheet where all the sales are happening. And path B is going to take all the failed transactions and write it on this Google Sheet, which is a different set of data. So this is how we have created paths, and now the most important thing is that we have to go ahead and figure out if the entire setup is working properly. So I will go ahead and switch on the Zap, and let me go ahead and create a new InstaMojo discount code, and let me go ahead and make a transaction, and one transaction I will succeed. So I will probably make a transaction for 10 rupees, and just to show you how the payments work in real time. And I will also go ahead and do a transaction where I am going to fail the transaction. So I'm going to try to make a payment. I will go inside my bank account, enter the username and password, and then I will probably enter the wrong OTP or something. So then we will see if the transaction actually gets failed, and because of the failed transaction whether we are getting the data back. So let me go ahead and create a discount code. So code would be Deepak 2019 test 2, and I would say amount of would be 4,980, and I would leave the quantity as 1. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to do a small transaction of 19 rupees. So let me click on pay now, and let me enter all the details that is necessary here. So Deepak at pixeltrack.in 997209900. So now I would go ahead and make a payment via my credit card, and obviously I cannot show you my credit card information. So I will finish the payment and get back to this video. So I have successfully made the payment, and let's see if InstaMojo has captured the data. So here you can see Deepak at pixeltrack.in, the transaction that we just did. It also has taken the amount, which is 19 rupees. It has taken the InstaMojo fees. It has given me the payment ID. It has given me the discount code, the discount amount, and whatever information I basically need here. So now we will have a look at the task history on which this exact transaction went through. So I will go to page 2, and we already have a lot of other transactions and zaps which has run after we have set this up. So 100 BBC sales credit and failed is the zap that we had set up with 2 paths. So basically what happened was that as soon as I made a payment with 19 rupees, and all this data has been captured by the webhook from InstaMojo, and it basically goes into 2 paths, so path A and path B. So path A says that the status of the transaction has to be credit, and path B says that the status of the transaction should not contain the word credit. So in this case I have made a successful transaction, so the status is given as credit, and that is why path A has run. So path A has run as a successful transaction, and if you remember we had 2 steps in path A. So here you can see it sent the data to ActiveCampaign, and it has also went ahead and sent the data to Google Sheet. So if you go inside Google Sheets, you will be able to see the transaction which we just made. And as I was making this video, there has been another transaction which came through one of my affiliates, and here you can see another credit transaction for 1999 rupees, out of which 37 rupees or approximately 38 rupees I have paid as fees to InstaMojo, and this transaction has come at a discount of 3000. So basically what you can see here is the successful transaction that has run. And if you go back and check the path B, so path B would not have succeeded because path B we had mentioned that the status should not contain the word credit. So if you go ahead and check inside this particular zap, you will be able to review what filter we had set up. So the filter is basically the rule. So the status should not contain the word credit. So it will run only if the status is failed. But in this case, our status is successful transaction. So that is why we did not let the path B run. And if you look at another transaction that has just happened, so let me first show you that particular transaction which happened. So this is the transaction, and here you can see path B has failed. And one important thing to note here is that whenever a zap enters a path, and if it does a filter or if it does a task, then it is also taken as a task. So total task used here is 3, but in reality we have only used 2 tasks, which is go ahead and capture the data, send it to ActiveCampaign and send it to Google Sheets. So if you are using paths inside Zapier, it will cost you 1 extra zap for every time you run a transaction or every time you run a zap. So if I go back into task history, you can see the most recent sale that has come in, which is this particular transaction that has also properly got executed. And here also you have failed transaction. Path did not run because it is actually a credit transaction. So whenever there is a failed transaction, InstaMojo is going to return the data with status as failed. And if the status has failed, then basically what will happen is that the path A will not run and path B will run. So in path A you will find an X mark, and in the path B you will find a tick mark, and then it will go ahead and write the data in this particular sheet, which is 100 TBC failed transactions. So that's about it for this video. I hope this video helped you understand how paths inside Zapier work and how to make decision trees for different scenarios. And another thing to note here is that there are unlimited paths you can create. So here you can see that we have created only path A and path B, but it's not just two paths you can create three paths as well. So if I just add a C path here, you will be able to see that C will go ahead and have a different rule, and here I can have a different rule saying that, if the status is something different, or if the amount is something different, or if the discount code is something different, then go ahead and do a different transaction for me. So that is how these things work, and I hope you are pretty excited to understand how Zapier paths work, and probably you might be thinking of different ideas how you can implement in this business. If you don't understand exactly how it works, it's still okay. Go ahead and try it out. Zapier free account still comes with the feature of paths, and you can basically go ahead and create a Google Docs form and a Google Sheet, and for different entries or different options in the Google Docs form, you can create different entries on Google Sheet using paths, and that would be an excellent way to go ahead and experiment with the system, even if you don't have payment gateway and real-time transactions coming in. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video.